I thought I'd do something a little bit different this week. All my complete sets of trading cards, both from the animated series to all the various movies. There doesn't seem to be that much content online featuring all the different sets of trading cards, and actually some of them feature fantastic images that you don't really get to see much at all. So I thought we would take a look, starting off perhaps with the animated series ones this week, and then maybe in another video I'll go through all the movie cards. So let's take a look. So starting off with the animated series folder. So this is a folder I've had since I was a child in the 90s, and as you can see I've decorated it with all the animated series stickers. So these would have most likely come from the I Love to Read Batman magazine, which was out at the time. I had a subscription to that from my local newsagents when I was a child, and often you'd get free gifts including stickers and whatnot. So I've obviously decorated the folder. I think that was probably an old sticker that I've taken off and then redecorated with these ones. So yeah, we've got some cool stickers here, and same applies to the back as well. So again, that would have been I think it eventually turned into the Batman and Superman magazine, or I Love to Read Batman and Superman, hence why there's also Superman stickers, and then eventually a Batman Beyond magazine as well, which they did. So inside the folder we have a few more stickers here, which I believe are glow-in-the-dark ones, which again would have been another sort of freebie from a magazine. And we just have the Sugar Puffs cereal trading card, which came in the box of cereal, just because it's got the animated series Game Boy game featured on here, so I thought I'd keep that in this folder. Now, as for the cards, so we have first up from 1993 and made by Topps. This is the base set of 100 cards from the animated series. So we'll have a brief look at each page and sort of maybe hand pick out some really cool ones as we go along. So first up we have a lot of the heroes here, and I think it's cool as well they include characters in their civilian clothes such as Harvey Dent here. And then of course on the back they have all the usual write-up about each character. Some more heroes here including Mayor Hamilton Hill and Summer Gleason. And similar to Harvey Dent, again I like the fact they've included Selina Kyle in her ordinary civilian clothes too. And then we have some of the architecture and buildings, so that's pretty cool. And continuing on to this page, and now we're sort of getting into some of the villains here, and I really like this one of Hugo Strange. And here we have the Scarecrow in his original appearance from the first Scarecrow episode. I like that Talia one, that's pretty cool. And we're continuing on with a few more villains and then getting into some vehicles. So I think it's a travesty we still haven't been given the Batboat in collectible form. I think the only thing I've got from the animated series Batboat I can think of is the ERTL diecast vehicle, which you can just about see here in the display cabinet. So I'm pretty sure this is the only thing we've ever had, well, as a faithful representation anyway, of this animated series Batboat. So hopefully at some point another company will decide to eventually do that. Also, just to point out the fact that they've also included a few random thugs as well, which is pretty good. And continuing on, we then start getting into Batman's gadgets, some of which again we don't get to see very often. So we have like Batman's homing locator here, so that's good. And then we have some shots of the different episodes now. So I'll sort of perhaps skim through these ones a little bit quicker. But again, all pretty smart, but I just prefer the shots that we just don't get to see very often, or certain cool images. But these are all just pretty much from different episodes. And again, it tells you all about each one on the back of the card. Now at this point, we actually reach the 100 out of 100. But it does say to be continued. And sure enough, they continue doing another, I think, 87 cards. So it's just weird how they sort of said this was the 100 card set, but actually they weren't quite finished. So it continues as Two-Face, or the Two-Face episode, and then changes to Cat and the Claw, and then into Heart of Ice, And then we have Feet of Clay, which obviously fantastic episode. And then it turns into Mask of the Phantasm. Now for these ones, I'm not sure if some of these have actually just been drawn specifically for these cards. You'll see what I mean in a second. So all these episode cards, you can tell they're just screenshots from the episode. But some of these Mask of the Phantasm ones, I don't know, they look almost like just sort of hand-drawn especially for these cards, in which case, again, pretty cool, the fact that they're shots that we don't usually get to see. But I think for these ones, what I'll do is I'll turn these around and get a proper look as they're all landscape. So, again, you'll perhaps see what I mean. Like ones like this, looks to be sort of drawn especially for the card. I could be wrong, but again, that's really cool. I like that one and that. So that's that page. That one is pretty cool. I'll turn them around again. Nice. I like that one a lot. And again, you see what I mean? That just looks like it might be drawn specially for these. And then the last page. So that one's nice. I like that. And that one's fantastic. Yeah, these are definitely... Some of these are definitely drawn specially for the cards. That one's really cool. And Jetpack Joker there as well. So yeah, that is all of the Mask of the Phantasm ones. And we eventually get to... So there's actually 190 because I've had to double up. This last card is backed onto another one. So that technically is 190. So yeah, and that's where they end up with the Topps ones. So next up, we then have Skybox, who took over from making trading cards from Topps. So here's their logo, and these are from 1995. So first of all, well, that is just an empty packaging of the Adventures of Batman and Robin cards, which we're now going to come across. But these are puzzle cards. So if I take one out, and then we'll get to see. So here's the Batman one, Robin, Batgirl, Joker, Harley Quinn, Mr. Freeze, Clayface, Poison Ivy, the Riddler, Two-Face, the Penguin, and finally Catwoman. So next up we have Skybox's base set from the Adventures of Batman and Robin. And this features 90 cards, which again is just pretty much screenshots from various episodes. And usual thing, we have the write-up on the back of the card as well. So we'll skim through these ones a little bit. So we have Killer Croc, Joker. And then at the very end, of course, you always get the checklist card, which features all of them on there. So continuing on with Skybox, but now these are from 1996, we have a few various different random cards that they did here. So these are punch-out cards. Quite simply, you just punch out the figure from the card. So we have various characters here. And you can see on the back here, you've got the instructions of how to punch it out. And I think... You could probably get a little stand of that as well. And some more villains here. And now you've got these cards, which I don't know if they're to colour in. So Arkham Escape Activity Game Quiz card. So it's got a few questions on the back, but I assume as children you'd colour these in. And now we have puzzle cards. So they are literally mini jigsaw puzzles. So if I spin that around. Yeah, so these are pretty cool. So that one in particular, I really like, Party Crasher. That's a cool one. And most of these other ones I've actually got in a bigger jigsaw form. So again, some of these are sort of very heavily recycled images, but that one in particular definitely isn't. So I like that one. So along with these Arkham Escape Activity Game cards, I think these are also from that too, because you can see here it's got the rules on the back and instructions and everything. And I'm guessing when you put these cards together, you've got the game on the back of it. So you can see here's the trail, which you'd obviously go around. So, but yeah, again, these cards, I absolutely love these ones. Some of these images are so cool. So we've got the Dark Knight, Night Flight, the Boy Wonder, love that one. Perfect Aim, Tag Team, that's really nice. Stealth Tactics, that's really cool with the Batwing there. I really like this one as well, Jokes on Joker. Three's a Crowd and Counterpunch, that one's fantastic. So yeah, how nice are these? This is what I mean, like, it's one thing having screenshots just from episodes, but when you get this sort of original art like this, I really, really like that. That's so cool. And then we have a few more on the back here. Airborne Battle, Playing Doubles, and Ready for Action. And then to top it off, which I think came with these Skybox ones, we have original 35-year-old chewing gum. So we have Batman, Robin, Two-Face, and Riddler. But I wouldn't like to try that after all this time. Also, Skybox did similar cards like to this, but for Superman, the animated series. So I don't believe they did a full 100 card trading card set, but they did do these sort of fun cards with some various artwork on the front. I think it's probably about 30 cards in the set, and I am hoping to get them at some point just to go along with all these others. So yeah, hopefully I'll add them to the collection soon. So next up we have the Justice League animated series trading card set. These are made by a company called Inkworks, and they are from 2003. So they are mainly screenshots from the various episodes, but you'll see here each page features a different character, and I like the fact that there's actually 9 cards for each character because they fit nicely in a page. So you'll see what I mean. They've obviously done that intentionally, knowing that people have these trading card wallets. So you have Superman with various images of him, and then Batman with the same thing. So we'll take a little closer look at Batman's. I really love this one, which is of course from the opening intro of the series. That one's also pretty cool. And Batman and Joker, I love this one. And that is from one of my favourite episodes. And then same thing, obviously on the back you've got all the write-ups from the different episodes. So now we have Wonder Woman's 9 cards, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, The Flash, Hawkgirl, and of course with them all being in their respective colours, they really sort of stand out nicely as well. And then we have, to finish off, we have the Watchtower, the Javelin 7, the awesome intro shot of their silhouettes, and then we have these cards, Allies and Enemies. So these are the backs of the Allies and Enemies cards. And then of course we have the checklist, and that completes the 81 card set. As well as that, they also did an 18 card foil chase variant set of cards, which were really nice. Again, I like the fact that they did an 18 card set because obviously you get 9 in a page, so that's 2 pages taken up then. So these feature the different heroes, and you can just about see, being a foil card, they got that nice shine to them. So these are really, really nice. And again, little write-up on the back of each one. And then the enemies on this page. So such as Lex Luthor, Joker, Darkseid. So that is cool. And that rounds up all the Inkworks cards. And finally, we're back to Topps Trading Cards, who made these ones for the Batman from 2005. And this is a 90 card base set. So if I flip this around, and again, these pretty much are just screenshots from the series, but some of them again feature really, really nice shots, such as this one here. And you have the Batbot, and then images like this are pretty cool. Now, I don't know what everyone else thinks, but this particular animated series I absolutely loved, and as a lot of people say, it is severely underrated. So if you haven't watched this before, I think you should definitely give it a go. And then you're getting into the Mr. Freeze episodes with Batman's Arctic suit, which I liked. Cool image of Batman on his bike there and fighting against Firefly. Batman with his glider wings again, really loved that one. And of course on the back again, it's just write-ups of each card or each episode. So we'll mainly focus on the actual cards themselves. That image of his silhouette I really like. Batman against the Penguin. Clayface. And that pretty much completes the 90 card set for the Batman. And then just as a little added bonus, these are a few of the postcards that I've got from the animated series as well. I believe there are a few more of these you can collect too, but these are just the ones that I've got. So I love this one here from Sub-Zero. Got some awesome artwork on there. This, again, another favourite of mine, the Dynamic Duo. Got this one. This one I really like too. And the one from the Feet of Clay. That one is really good. And then finally this one here of Batman, Joker and Harley Quinn. So that's the animated series folder done. Next week we'll take a look at all the movie trading cards I have. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of my lifelong collection of Batman.